The monsters that had once ravaged nations suddenly retreated underground, as if following a single command. To prevent a surprise attack, humanity immediately sealed off every underground passage and named them the Gates of Hell. Countries around the world joined forces, building massive defensive barriers in preparation for whatever might come next. As reconstruction began across the globe, advanced weapons were deployed along major fault lines. 18 years passed, and the memory of the monsters slowly faded. Then, without warning, the same total solar eclipse from years ago appeared again. Moments later, powerful seismic tremors surged from deep below the Earth. The creatures that had once retreated were rising again. This time, however, humanity was ready. Instead of panic, a coordinated counteroffensive began immediately. Having reserved spots in a shelter long ago, William and his group rushed toward it as the alarm sounded. When they finally arrived, the entrance was already overwhelmed with desperate crowds. Guards announced that only women and children would be allowed inside. As arguments broke out, the shelter doors suddenly slammed shut, refusing to open again, no matter how hard people pounded on them. With no other choice, the group searched for another place to hide. By then, the creatures were emerging in massive waves, flooding the streets in terrifying numbers. William managed to lead his family to a private shelter built by his uncle. But just when they thought they were safe, there was no response from inside. The creatures were closing in when, at the last second, the door cracked open. They scrambled inside, only to discover a mysterious stranger waiting there. Before they could relax, they realized the shelter had already been surrounded. Among the attackers was a massive burrowing beast pounding against the structure. As the walls began to give way, the stranger proposed a bold plan. Instead of hiding, they should head toward the creature's emergence point and search for a chance to fight back. He also knew of a working vehicle nearby. After a brief discussion, the group decided to take the risk. Armed and determined, they slipped out through the back exit. William's aunt, already infected and knowing her time was short, chose to stay behind and delay the advancing creatures, buying the others precious minutes. The group eventually reached a military fortress, but it was eerily abandoned. While cautiously searching the area, a creature suddenly lunged from the shadows. William fired repeatedly, but the shots had little effect. The stranger quickly switched to salt-loaded rounds. With a single shot, the creature disintegrated. Realizing salt was the key weakness, they hurried toward a massive salt distribution pipeline at the base. If they could open the valve, salt water would flood the entire facility, but the controls were located in a distant control room. To buy them time, William's uncle stepped forward, raising his weapon and charging toward the creatures. Moments later, William successfully activated the valve. Salt water poured down like a torrential storm, washing across the entire base. Within seconds, the creatures dissolved completely, leaving nothing behind. Once again, the monsters were forced back beneath the earth.